Welcome to hell. Hi, I'll be your torturer for this evening. Welcome to hell. Hi, welcome to hell. Rate your visit to hell. Did you know that the French Connection? Did you know that Disney owns the rights to the French Connection? No, I didn't either. I didn't either until just now. Apparently, Disney, in their acquisition of Fox, gained the rights to the French Connection. Now, I don't feel I'm not necessarily personally attached to the French Connection. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I don't have any personal affinity for that movie, but it is a movie for responsible adults like myself. When you hear about Disney censoring something or fucking with something, it's usually stuff for dumb babies, for lack of a better word. It's still bad. Censorship is still bad, whether it's Toy Story 2 or whatever the hell. But it's usually stuff for dumb babies. But when you say to me, did you know that Disney owns the French Connection? Then that gets my hackles up a little bit more, because then it says to me, there's nothing sacred. There's nothing off the table. There's nothing that can't be fucked with. So what happened was, in the movie The French Connection, apparently there's a brief scene where Gene Hackman calls someone a nice guy. In another scene, he calls someone a happy camper. Let me just close the window here. Saying a lot of bad words. I'm saying a lot of bad words. So Disney cuts the scene for seemingly everywhere the film has been licensed, everywhere that it's streaming. Now, it seems to be intact in other countries on the Disney Plus app, I guess in England and Italy and I don't know where else, but it seems to be intact in those places. But as far as America goes, Apple TV, iTunes, whatever, the big one is the Criterion channel. The Criterion channel seems to be showing the censored version of the film. But here's the thing, it's not just something like the good old days. Say you might edit something for TV. Say you might cut something for TV. You have a disclaimer in the beginning. You know, this movie has been edited for content. That is not the case here. There's no accompanying disclaimer. They just did it without telling anybody. They did it in secret. They did it in darkness, in shadows. It took some eagle-eyed detectives to figure out that this change had happened. Actually, that's not true. They probably didn't have to be that eagle-eyed. The edit in question is very obvious. It's a very evident, very jarring cut to the film. But apparently, there's been reports that people who have purchased a digital version of the French Connection, say from iTunes or Amazon or wherever the hell you buy digital movies, there's reports that they're getting this censored version as well when they're buying it. Or I've also heard reports. I've got my ear to the ground. I've heard reports that copies that people have had previously of the film intact have been replaced with this new edited version. The Criterion channel. The Criterion channel, or the Criterion collection, it is supposed to be a venue for film preservation. There's a lot of movies that you wouldn't really even know they exist if not for the nice twee branding of the Criterion channel and the Criterion collection and whatnot. And the idea that this service or this venue that is supposed to be for film preservation and for people, for adults, for this is the thing. If you're watching The French Connection, a film from 1971 starring Gene Hackman, directed by William Friedkin, I have to assume you're a certain type of person. You're an adult. You're a reasonable, responsible adult. And the occasional off-color language is not going to throw you. It's not that the film is itself trying to put across some sort of racist belief or anything. The character, it's in character. Gene Hackman's character in The French Connection is a racist, and he's calling someone a nice guy. So again, I'm not sure why you would do this for a movie that is made for adults, that is going to be consumed and discussed and digested by adults. So it's extra weird, and maybe it's some sort of oversight. Again, maybe it's sort of slipped under the radar, but it's kind of weird that this is the version that the Criterion channel is airing, this kind of censored, neutered, cowardly version of the film. It makes you wonder what other movies have been affected, what other movies have been unknowingly censored. How much censorship are we actually immersed in right now at this point in time, because not everyone's going to have perfect recall. Not everyone's going to be able to comb through every piece of media and compare like a previous version to a more recent version. So how much exactly is being censored and rewritten without us knowing it? What does Disney own exactly, and what are antitrust laws for exactly, when every time one corporation just sort of gobbles up another corporation, it just sort of happens without any sort of questioning, or it just happens. What are antitrust laws for anyway? Why shouldn't Disney own Fox and whatever else? And why not just have one mono company? Why not just have like one single company that owns everything? So you know. See? Nice guys. Nice guys. Another thing is that the Blu-ray for the French Connection seems to be out of print. So when you go to look for it on Amazon, for instance, it says either unavailable or it's marked up to just an exorbitant price. Now the DVD seems to still be available, but for how long? Because the whole thing, when taken together, censoring things, but also limiting people's access to the original version, it sort of has a very sinister undertone. There's a very sinister undercurrent when you're sort of clandestinely replacing something with sort of the new so-called improved version, when you are sanitizing things, especially without telling people. It sort of puts a bad taste in your mouth. It seems weird and secretive, but who am I to that's just a wild conspiracy theory. These are just wild, reckless conspiracy theories, and you shouldn't really think much of it. You shouldn't think much of it. Anyway, this is the end of the video. Goodbye.